Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. In this video, I have decided actually to work on some additional functionality, which is adding rich text fields to some of our create source capabilities. If you've watched my previous video, I was going to wait and do this at a later point in time, but I had a number of tasks here that I kind of need to get created before I can launch, and one of those was creating a Stripe account, at least one that can support real payments. In order to do that, though, I didn't realize Stripe require you to actually have a live website so that they can validate that your business is real and everything like that. So what I need to do is build out a bit of a website, and obviously that's going to take a little bit of time. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is work on some of this functionality where we're looking at rich text. So you'll see there's quite a few here where we want to be able to support rich text fields. Basically, I think the overwhelming majority of these, have rich text. So yeah, if you're not exactly sure what I'm referring to, basically if you go to create a new source, and go add new source, and for example, blog post. Source blog post. You see here we've got this summary excerpt. Obviously this is just a one-line input at the moment, not great. So I want to add the ability to make that rich text field. So what I did was I just asked good old Claude and said, hey, we want to update this, and it's gone through and given me some stuff that we need to do. So we're going to start with this. I'm going to bring my code base over to this side and bring Claude and all my 101 million tabs over to this other side, and we'll start working through this. So one of the things we need to do is update our source type model, which we have here, and each source type has this field definition schema, and what we need to do is add rich type here. So we've got date time. This is very similar to what we fixed in the previous one, so we're going to call this rich text. And then other than that, nothing else needs to change. In our utils, we have some sanitization, so that when people do submit rich text, we are sanitizing that. Where is it? This is the front end. I need to get out of this source. Close that up. Not in auth backend either. Sanitize HTML. My computer is running super slow. So we had all of these allowed tags previously. We do need to add some additional ones. So we need to add this. I'm not sure if we'll add image at the moment. Just gonna close a few things down because my computer is running super slow and I got like a zillion tags open. Sorry, tabs, not tags. What else can I close? So I think what we're going to do is we won't allow image, just because we're going to handle images separately at a late point. And then allowed attributes. So we do need to add a couple more here. So I'll copy this. Right, then we've got our component for source types. So if we go here and we go source types, we need to change our add source types and within our utils. So we have a function called update fields, which is not there. Validate field operations. Yeah, add source. Validate hex color. We don't have a add source type fields. So Claude's made a mistake. In your original instructions in step 3, you said to edit our add source type utils.js file and edit the validate field operations function. This function isn't in our utils. I wonder if it's in services. No. So in your project structure, right, so I did make a mistake, just asking it to provide the correct code. I think it might create a new function for us. Yep. Alright, so add source type utils. It's still keeping validate hex color, validate source type fields. Validate company access. Check duplicate source type. Alright, I think here it is just updating this. So let's put that in. See if we had to change any of our inputs. So validate, all good. Alright, then in our source type service, we need to and our validation chains. Not empty fields. Okay, I don't think we'll add that in because they are optional. And then, all right, in our edit source type now, so we're kind of jumping around a little bit. Validate fields. This is where it was getting confused. There is this validate fields function. So interesting, one of those issues where duplication of code or reusable code would have been beneficial. So again, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I kind of chunk the code down very specific to basically, you know, each subfolder does one thing, but there's sometimes obviously where there's duplication of code, and that's a kind of oversight on Claude's part not to have done that for both of those. There is also some other functionality here that needs updating. So we need to add in this function, which is, no, hang on. Validate field operations, validate fields. Okay, hang on. Validate field operations. And hang on, this is getting confusing. Validate fields. Validate field operations. Okay. I'm just going to make sure we're getting the up-to-date version there. Alright, edit source. So this is dot type, name type. So rich text here. Actually, this should now also be date time as well. We should support. Just thinking of this, like how we overcome this issue with Claude in the future. Because yeah, there is some duplication of code. I guess you either specifically have to tell Claude that the utils has to be the same, as in the functionality, you know, of specific utils, if it's relevant, because sometimes there'd be utils that aren't relevant across edit and add. And then same thing with the validation chains. Need to give some thought to that, because obviously it has been beneficial to chunk everything down. Alright, so what we need to do now is go back to our add source type utils, and what's it saying? So validate source type fields. Right, and then errors. Has changed this as well. I think it's getting confused again. Add new. Hang on, sorry, my bad. This is add new source. Add new source, utils. Alright, so validate source type fields. Here we go. So we just need to add in the case for rich text. Copy. Save. We'll need to bring in sanitize HTML. Save. Alright, check existing sources. Alright, cool. And then add new source validation chains. That stays the same. Edit source. So edit source utils. Alright. Validate. So string, number, date, time, rich text. and bring in sanitize again. Save that. Alright. And then update sanitize utils. We already did that, but let's just check it hasn't changed anything here that we needed. Okay, that looks true. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to go back and look at this. So update. Okay, so okay, cool. So now we need to do the front end. So if we go to close all this up, go into our front end, components, features, create new, so actually settings, create source type form, fields. So here we need to add rich text. Again, we aren't supporting date time just yet. I have to do that as well later on. And then in our render field function, oops, spelled that wrong, render field. Which is actually in our modal. So create source type form, and then create source modal. Where are we? Sources, source modal. Why can't I see this? Where's our create source modal again? Here we go. Alright, so render field. Field type string, so we just need to add our case for rich text. So let's do that under string. Then edit source modal. Edit source modal. You can do basically the same thing. Then update the source card and the source modal. So if we go to source card, where are we? Source card, render field, so we don't have a render. We don't have a render field value in source card. Let's go string. I think it'll be in source grid. Nope. So hang on, let's work this out. Source modal. Source card. Dashboard. Content. sources grid, dashboard, content. We don't have a render. You're right, I made a mistake. Get displayable fields functions. Okay, so in source card, just close some of these up. All right, source card again. We have a get displayable fields. There we go. All right, so here what we need to do is this, and then I think that changed, but anyway. All right, and then main heading. All right, so in our map, object.entries, displayable field, field data, value, map, field data. Okay, so this changes a bit. We replace this. Oh, sorry, we're down to that. And then might be a bit easier. So 1, 2, just take this whole thing up to object. Right. Save that. All right, make sure in your Checksum preview. Alrighty. So what we also need to do is go to default source type now and create some of these as having rich text. So YouTube description. Let's change this to rich text. Save. Should we go through and do all of them? Let's just check if this works actually first. So post text, this will be rich text too. Save that. All right, then. Let's put this into there. All right, fantastic. So if we check if anything's broken, kind of looks all right on that. So if we go to localhost, and then what we need to do is create a new account. So let me just quickly do that. has been invalidated. Alright, we're in. I need to check that bug, so let me just write that down. So these are things like bug on login, invalidates, sorry, bug on register, invalidates login token straight away. Alright, so now if we go source, new source, YouTube, React Quill is not defined. Oh, okay. So where do we? Oh no, sorry. Create source. Create source. Where's source? We did create a, just thinking about this, in components UI quill editor, we did create our own quill editor. So okay, what we'll do is we'll just tell Claude that. I know I can update it myself, but I'll say we did previously as quill editor in Alright. So yeah, I just wanted to give it that context just in case we need to ask it anything else. It won't forget, so we change this to quill editor. Then from memory, create source modal value. I think we replace all of that. Let's check. It doesn't like this import. Sorry, up one file. Ah, my bad. We called it quill. React quill is not defined. Don't know why. Okay, so source, new source. Happy days. Okay, so we got our rich text there. So YouTube video. Okay, that's going to be coming from somewhere else. We will get there. Alright, so in our edit source modal, I think because it's getting passed down. Yeah, here. So let's bring this in. Like that, and this was quill editor. And then, so that's editing source. We also need to do it when we add a new note. Don't forget. Alright, just refresh for a sec. Sources. Okay, so we're seeing it there, but it's not rendering it correctly. I think that's because I would have missed. We need to do the set in dangerously in a HTML or whatever it is. But let's just fix up the create note modal. So up here. Actually, we already bring in quill editor, so that's good. Render source fields. If no selected source. Turn dialog field date. Over where's pop over end? What? Field date. If we do have a new source type, ask the user to fill in each form. Date. Basically here. Save. Okay. So then on our source modal, say, you know, where is related notes, individual note. So source modal, which we're already on. So render field value. If it's rich text, value return null. If display wall. Field slice. It's changed this a little bit. Why? Slice. Field dot value. I'm just gonna tell it it's been a bit sloppy. Double check. I know you can't see what I see, but it's gotten rid of the slice to take out the first field. So let's just do render field value. Why didn't I like that? What am I missing? I'm catching something. What am I missing here? Why did you get rid of? Wait for this. It had missed out, where is it? The slice. So I don't know why it did that. Come on, copy. Why is it not like this? Something. Copy. So it's missing. That goes. No. What's it missing? Something's wrong with this function. Let's use ChatGPT just to save. There's missing a tag before the attribute. Ah. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Claude. Weird. Very sloppy. Alright. Awesome. That's now working, so we can see that. We just need to go back and do the same for viewing the note. So view individual note modal. Wherever it is. Right, so here, render source. We also don't have that. Why does it keep thinking we have this function, render source? Weird. Okay, this is our view individual node modal. It doesn't have a render source field function. Please update it's so bizarre. Like, we're using Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which by the time this video comes out, that'll have been out for a while. But it was only released the other day, and my first impressions with working with 3.7 were very, very positive. It's quite interesting that it's kind of made a few sloppy mistakes, like even missing that A tag, and then this is the second time it's referred to a function in one of our files that just doesn't exist at all in that file. So yeah, not really sure what's going on there, because I only updated all of the files in it yesterday, and they should all be up to date. And again, it's missed a tag here. That is bizarre. And then here, again, why is it missing A tags? That's crazy. Just like completely missing it. Weird. Anyway, let's bring this over here. Let's create a new note. Testing rich text. And go blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. Alright, so new source. We can also do a X post. We've got the post text. So this was an awesome X post. I still hate calling it X, but you know what it is, Twitter, whatever. .com. Create note. And there we go. So that's all working. Fantastic. We can now go over here and we'll be able to close off a lot of these. Actually, we will have to go through and add those, update the fields to be rich text. We did these two, but I've just got to go through the default source type data here and do that. So I'll quickly do this. So newspaper, and we've got a summary, and we're just going to change that to rich text. fix this each time. Magazine, summary is rich text. Blog, summary is rich text. So let's just kill those three. Ah, come on. Alright, website. Haven't got website yet. Book is next. So URL, format, publisher, publication date. Where's we don't have a summary. Alright, let's book. Copy podcast episode. So summary. Where's podcast on here? Can't see that. Website description. Change that to rich text. Let's get rid of that one. Forum post. So we've got a post body. We'll change that to rich text. Forms. That's that one. We added a Reddit post. LinkedIn post, post URL, post text. Save that. All right, so LinkedIn, Facebook post. Rich text. If anyone can see Facebook there. Instagram post. Post caption. TikTok video. Video caption. Description. Infographic. That's more image upload. So we don't need that. Image or photo. Document. Summary. Rich text. Email body, rich text. So get rid of that. Audio file, transcript can be rich text, and then we'll call this title. Webinar summary. Get rid of that. miscellaneous, get rid of that. Alright, so let's just double check which one. So we don't have images yet. That's image related. Upload docs, we've done that part. We need to support uploads. We are going to do that later time. Folder select or on yep. Okay, let's check this bug while we're at it. So if we go settings, existing source types, what am I saying here? Double check how we see data for source types on new account sign up. Ensure consistency with system source types with custom ones. Issue with name label. So string. Maybe the best thing to do here is to create YouTube 2. Let's go video. Add field. Let's call this video title 2. Oh, actually. How is, yeah, what's the label for that then? Channel name. Alright, so if we go down here. Okay. Yeah, we don't give it a label. Okay, so we need to fix that up. So we don't define field the label I think the best thing to do is probably use the same context, like same thing, so video title 2 in that instance, but just remove the spaces. Do that, and then we do support rich text here. That's interesting. I don't know if this is going to work. Test. Does, but the only challenge is, yeah, if you set a rich text field on the heading. Alright, so rich text. Rich text on headings. So need to fix that, and this we need to fix before we can go live as well. Alright, so a couple of things to finish off there, but I am going to stop the video because the main point of this video was getting it to the ability where we can basically use those rich text fields, which we can do, which is fantastic. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.